Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today it's a rainy day and I got a lot of work done, but I didn't get a chance to go outside and ride and make a cool scooter video for you guys. So I posted on my Instagram and we did a quick Q&A. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. I am cooking dinner. I'm trying to just prep. Kind of feels good to be home for the day to kind of clean up, get ready, and kind of do like the things at home that you need to do when you live on your own. So we're just going to go to the post and I'm going to pick a few questions one by one and just answer as best I can. And if I don't get to you this time, I'll be sure to get to you in the next video. So for all of you who have asked me what keeps me motivated or what got me into scootering, there's a lot of you. So to name every single one would be tough, but you know who you are if you ask that question. I guess what got me into riding was obviously the first Reyes scooter. The first Reyes scooter was something that everybody had to have. We got it from Modell's. It was just that foldy thing just to roll around outside. I actually used to rollerblade, and when I used to rollerblade, I needed to go to the skate park, I needed a ramp, I needed an obstacle to rollerblade, which sometimes you didn't have, especially living in New York. Now, on the scooter, when I rode the scooter, I realized that it was just fun to go off curbs, or to jump down some stairs, or to just like find like some gap or something like that, and it was just really fun. It was super addicting. That was just, it was just the pure natural feeling of being addicted to something that was very fun, and that's what got me started. Now, what got me motivated is pretty much my grandma. I don't know if you saw the post that I put up a little bit ago on my Instagram, and it was the first time I actually visited her grave. I didn't get a chance to go to her grave when she was buried over 10 years ago. I remember being in school and my family went and they just said it was best for me to stay back and just to concentrate on school. And I remember just staying at her house. I used to stay at her house every weekend, like from Friday to Sunday. My dad would drop me off, and it was just kind of a cool way to get away, because living at home, I lived in an apartment. I lived in an apartment with 4 people, my mother, my father, and my sister, and it was just a small apartment, and there wasn't too much outside to ride. I mean, it was New York, but I was very young, so my parents didn't want me running around the street yet, you know, not playing in traffic, anything like that, just to be safe. My grandma lived in a house, and she lived on a street where it wasn't a dead end, but in order to go on her block, well, if you went on her block, you'd have to go completely around just to get back on the main road, so not too many cars went on her block. So it was a perfect place just to play outside, whether you're on a scooter, playing wiffle ball, or anything like that. So I was always there, and my grandma was actually somebody that kind of understood my addiction to riding. You know, some people are kind of lost. You're not really sure what you're going to be addicted to, what you're passionate about. And I tried everything. I played baseball, I played hockey, I tried everything, and I still mess around and try to have fun with other sports and stuff like that, but never take it serious. The scooter thing was very serious, and I did mention on that post on Instagram that I wasn't gifted at it. You know, it took me 3 months to learn to tail, and during those 3 months, it was in the summer, and I would try and I would try to just think of new tricks or something to do that's new on the scooter, and I didn't do much. I probably learned 2 tricks in 3 months, and my grandma was saying how this is something, not scootering, but that feeling of being motivated and addicted and wanting to like really progress and feel an accomplishment. If I feel that, if I do feel something that is going to make me very happy, or something that's going to give me chills, you know, like that craving of feeling chills, a big accomplishment. She said if you do feel something like that, keep doing it, don't stop, no matter what it is. Whether it's a tail you're trying to learn right now, whether it's something you're going to do later on in the future, whether it's a family, job, anything like that, she said to concentrate on that. And a scooter actually gave me that feeling, and I didn't really listen too much to my parents. I mean, I did, but you know how sometimes your parents will say something deeper and you don't really absorb it. You absorb maybe like 3 words out of those 10 words in a sentence, and you just, you know, you take the important ones instead of really putting together those words and trying to see what that meaning really meant. But my grandma said it very easy and very generic where I understood, and that's what kind of opened my eyes and gave me the idea of that feeling that I wanted to chase, those chills, that new feeling, that new feeling, and that's what scootering has brought to me until now. And it's the same exact feeling. Obviously the tricks are completely different, but that feeling that I get when I learn a brand new trick and I've been trying it for so long, it's the same exact feeling that I did when I was under the street light in front of my grandma's house and trying to do a tail whip over and over again, or trying to do a 360, or any new trick that I did when I stayed at her house. And that's something that I can't let go, and that's something that keeps me going to this day. Okay, so Jay Watson and a few other people asked me a very similar question. I'll try to answer all of you guys within the same answer, but Jay actually specifically asked me what my dream trick is, and I always think about that, and I've thought about that my entire scootering career, and there's been so many tricks that I've dreamt to do, and I've done a lot of them. You know, I've done a lot of them. There's, you know, sometimes I'm just thinking of just trying to hold a nose manual longer, and then now I can hold it pretty long. But as of right now, a dream trick that I want to do, I mean, it's kind of endless, because once I learn the trick, as soon as I learn the trick that I want to do, because I don't really think about tricks that aren't possible. I try to really put myself in a situation where I'm like, okay, this trick is going to be so hard and it's going to take me years, but there is a possibility, and that kind of gives me hope. I would love to do tricks that I don't think are possible. I would love to be able to just backflip manual flat or something like that, but I try to think more realistic. That way, when I do finally get close to that trick, or I do the trick, it gives me that feeling that, hey, I remember that day a couple years back I was thinking about doing this, and now I can do it. So, as far as a specific trick that I'm trying to think of right now, it could be like a bar ride, half bar, where I'm doing a bar ride, I'm standing on the bars, and you just like shimmy, and the bars will spin halfway, and you'll be doing a fakey bar ride. And I've seen some women cyclists do that in shows. They do it very easy, so it'd be cool to do that. I'm just not sure if the scooter can handle that, because the scooter is so light. But I guess like dream tricks for me are just going to be just more. You know, whatever I'm doing now, just more. I want to be able to, whatever nose manual trick I can do, I want to do more of it. I want to do more back peg tricks. I want to do more tricks. I just want to do more in flatland, and that's something that that's really what I'm focusing on right now. So if you guys have ideas for me, or can imagine me doing a trick, leave a comment. I'm pretty curious to what you guys think is possible on flat, or think that I have the capability of doing, or maybe even getting close to. Now this one's pretty awesome because it has to do with riding, obviously, because I am a scooter rider, but this one has to do with me living in New York. And Caleb Eccles says, what's your favorite part about living in New York, and if you can live anywhere else, where would that be? Now, living in New York, regardless if you're riding or not, is just a great place. It's something that kind of keeps you alive, keeps you motivated, because there's so many people here that are trying to just chase dreams, stay busy, stay active, and do as much as they possibly can within their one lifetime. And that's something that I want to do, and I'm not sure if I've been living that mindset my entire life, but I know within the last few years I'm really focused on just trying to do as much as I possibly can to just gain as many opportunities as I possibly can. And New York is the place because it's the hub. There's a lot of people here doing the same exact thing. A lot of other YouTubers, there's athletes, there's people really pursuing what they love and trying to make a story out of it, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to tell a story. I want to be able to be old and have a family, and just to tell them like, hey look, I remember being here filming Q&A videos for a bunch of the guys that are supporting my riding and stuff like that, and it'd be cool to tell a story. And I feel like staying in New York, I'll be able to tell the best story, because there's so much happening to the point where it's overwhelming, but it's keeping me alive, it's keeping me sane, and it's something that I love to surround myself with. And now if I didn't live in New York, obviously the next best place would probably be California, only because of the weather. New York's pretty tough in the winter. It's going to be tough. It just started getting cold. It's raining outside, obviously, and I'm stuck inside not riding. Now, California is something that's really nice because, one, you get to pay rent or buy property, and it's a lot cheaper for more space. Right now I'm paying a little under $2,000 for an apartment, and I know in California that could be a mortgage for a house. But California is pretty cool because you can ride all year long. In the winter it's tough to progress, and I know that my trick list doesn't expand as much in the winter. And you know, I've tried and I try, and there's some spots you can go to, there's some things you can do. You go to parking lots, you can dress super warm, but California would be a cool place to live. I do have an idea of living there later on in my life, I guess when scootering slows down or New York slows down, which I don't think it ever will. But it'd be cool to like, kind of like, I don't want to say retire, because that means like I guess like when I say retire, it kind of gives me the feeling that I am giving up and I don't want to push anymore, which I don't ever want to stop doing that. But I guess like that feeling where you want to take it easy and really like absorb what's around you, or who's around you, and just really develop like your foreground and your habitat. And it would be California, because it just, I guess it's like half speed, you know. It kind of feels like half speed in New York. New York is just like, you know. But yeah, living in New York is just amazing, whether you ride a scooter or not. And if you ever want opportunities, or you're ready to work, and there's a lot of things and people to coexist with over here in New York. Now, a few people asked me, how did I stay motivated through the point where people hated or talked down on me? I don't really remember too many specific people talking down on me, and if they did, it's more of like, you just kind of, you don't listen, you know, unless you really think it's true. But most of the time, if someone's talking down on you and you are outside every single day and you're progressing and you're getting chills and you feel this energy of trying to learn new stuff and better yourself, there's no talking down on that, no matter what you're doing. As long as you're outside and you're like chasing that feeling of, you know, whether it's learning new tricks or just being a better person or living toward or working toward, you know, life dreams and stuff, there's no talking down. If someone's saying something negative or opposite of what you're doing, it's meaningless. If you guys mean the whole like scootering thing, where people would talk down on scootering and like saying it's not a sport, or it's not, you know, it's not something that's official, you should get a real job or stuff like that, you know, it's more anybody that's saying that, kind of, you can't see it, you know. You no matter what you're doing, if you're doing something and you're doing your best, you're trying your best, and you're getting a great feeling out of it, whether it's something that pays the bills or not, don't stop. Do not stop doing it. Do not stop. That's going to keep you alive. That's going to tell the greatest stories when you're older, and that is the best thing about whatever you're doing. Now, scootering has always had its ups and downs, and in the beginning, obviously there was like no one, there was no one riding scooters. There was like 10 people in New York, and I was one of 10, so then there's 9 people that I knew would ride scooters. I would ride with skateboarders. It didn't matter, you know. There's a lot of people that actually talk down to you, and it's more about, like, imagine if there was no one else in the world, you're still gonna ride. You know, that's where it comes down to. If there was no one else in the world, I would still ride my scooter. I'm not riding for someone else. You know, I'm not riding so someone else can be satisfied. I'm not performing for somebody. I'm riding for myself, and I love the feeling of it, and that's what matters the most. And it doesn't even matter. I mean, it matters if someone talks good on it, but that will only enhance your riding. That will only enhance your life. If someone's talking down, there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like it's going to bring you down. It shouldn't bring you down, and they're not contributing to your life at all. The people that are contributing to your life are the ones that you're surrounding yourself with every single day that really matter. And those words are the most powerful, and that's what you should do. And if anyone's talking down, you kind of, hopefully they realize, you know, what you're feeling when you ride or whatever you're doing. And you know, it's not really about surrounding yourself with those kind of people. You know, you would hope to construct them, you know, try to talk to them and tell them like, hey, look, this is like what I'm doing, and this is why I'm doing it, and it feels like this. And if they still understand, they'll understand one day, just maybe not at that time. So just move on, and that's what keeps you motivated. And I guess like the main thing that keeps me going through all the negativity is just that feeling I got when I first started riding. I was at my grandma's house, and she would talk to me about that, and I always think about that, and that's what kind of keeps me going and keeps me interested and straight-minded to progress with scootering. This is an interesting question because I've actually been thinking about this recently due to the fact that there's been other YouTubers and friends of mine that have done meetups in New York, and OneWay_DJ says, are you ever going to do a meetup? If so, is it going to be in New York? Now, I guess like meetup is cool because it's not like a session. It's not like we're meeting up to sesh. I'm not going to say like, let's meet up here to sesh. You know, I do like the Ride NYC stuff where like I meet up with everybody and we go ride. But I'm curious to see if you guys would want to do a meetup where we go hang out and we talk and just, you know, I'll order food or something, we'll get drinks, and we'll just hang out in the park, and we'll talk about if you guys have any live questions, or like you really want to come see me and talk to me and ask me any personal questions, and you know, pretty much just like this. But imagine like, instead of you being wherever you are right now looking at this video, you're just like in front of me, we're in the room, we're just all hanging out. I do want to do something like that. hopefully within the next few weeks. If you're in New York or Jersey, anywhere, and you want to come by, leave a comment. Let me know if you would come down. Let me know if you would be part of the meetup, and we'll maybe meet up at like Washington Square Park or Madison Square Park, somewhere in the city, just so it's convenient for everybody to take the subway. And I'll have something. Maybe I'll have like stickers and drinks, and we'll just hang out and just talk. And if you guys just want to come by, let me know where you're from and if you would actually come to the meetup. Alright, I don't know how many more I can do. Might do 1 or 2 more, only because I'm cooking and I have to look at the food in the kitchen. But this is a cool one because I guess this would be the cherry on top of this whole Q&A, and it's by the homie Ricky San. You guys know Ricky from my videos. He kills it, and he's actually an upcoming shredder from New York. And you guys should check out his videos and Instagrams. You'll see him in some of my videos. If not this week, next week. You know, we're just meeting up and linking up soon. But his question is, what's 3 of your big goals you're aiming to accomplish in the next 2 to 3 years? And it's pretty crazy because now, you know, I'm older now, and it's kind of scary being one of the oldest scooter riders in the sport. I don't feel like I'm old, where I'm too old to ride. I don't feel my body lagging anywhere or slowing down, and I didn't stop learning new tricks, so I'm not worried about that. If that day comes, I hope it doesn't. I'm pretty scared if that day ever comes, but I hope not. I'm convinced it's not. But 3 of my main goals, you know, one would be just to like better myself as much as I can, just to be the best rider I can, to connect with the best people, whether it's a person that I become a new friend with, become, you know, best friends with, or it's a brand that really wants to support me, and it's an opportunity where it's going to motivate me to work with that brand to the point where I'm pushing myself, not just for the brand, but for myself. And just connect with other riders and see who else is out there that wants to do the exact same thing as me, but not, obviously not the same tricks or same sport, but as far as trying to meet other people that are ready to give their life to make it with what they're doing. And that's you know, that's one thing, is just to better myself in that area as a whole. Obviously the tricks, I wanted to be able to do every trick I can think of, but you know, all of that is one answer. Another thing that I'd want to do is you know, own property or move somewhere where it's, you know, something that's mine. You know, I've worked my whole life to save up to hopefully buy something that is going to be great security, whether it's a house or an apartment or something. Just the next step from living in an apartment paying rent in New York. You know, I would love to have that next step feeling. You know, when you're living at home, then you live somewhere else when you travel, then you move out in an apartment with a roommate, then you move by yourself. You know, there's like steps, and I'm waiting for the next one. I would hope that the next one happens very soon. I don't know when. I would love to happen very, very soon, but you can't rush it. You know, you can't really look for things like that. It has to come on to you. So that's another thing. And I know it's kind of weird and never really talked about, but I would love to, you know, to like think about a family or something like that too. Like I'm not super young, but I'm not super old, and I always thought about, you know, having like kids and stuff. Like definitely not yet, you know, like I'm not trying to do that yet, because I got Scoot, man. Like I got a little dog, and he's a mission already. But it'd be cool to think about and plan, you know, like where my future would be in that area. You know, I have a girlfriend. I've had her for 2 years, and I've known her for more than that, and she's someone I'm super close to, and I never really talked about it on social media or anything, because I feel like it's pointless. Like it's my real life. Like I don't want to either showcase it, or like anybody that knows me, you guys know I have a girlfriend, and she's super important to me. So I would love to involve her with any of my future steps, which is pretty insane, because I remember my whole life I'm just like, oh, you know, like I'm gonna worry about my scooter stuff, I'm gonna worry about this first. But when you meet the right person, it's kind of interesting how your thoughts change and how you want to team up. You know, regardless of what you're doing, you just want to team up. You want to have that teammate. You want to have a best friend. She's definitely my best friend, and it's something that I would love to involve my future in. You know, like I want to be the best rider I can be. I would love to have a house and have a family. And I want to be able to tell a story. And Ricky, I know that you know that I'm always trying to do tricks, and it's just like it's more of a, you know, every time I try to do a new trick, and I'm trying those 500 times, it's for that whole reason, not just to land the trick. You know, every time I'm trying, and instead of quitting after 50, I'll go until my battery's dead or I can't ride anymore, and it's for that overall answer of all those 3 things, and hopefully within the next 5 years I can do all of those. So, but I'm gonna end it there. I'm sure there's plenty of other questions that are interesting. I saw a bunch. I'm gonna save them, and if you guys ask a question and you didn't get your answer yet, I guess like use your best judgment for now and see, like, I guess you hear me talk and you kind of understand like where I am and how I feel about things. And if you guys have more questions, I'll do another one. It's supposed to rain, you know, and get colder, so we'll do more. I'll talk to you guys more often, and we'll figure it out. I'm sorry there's no riding. I'm sorry this is like, I'm not like jumping around and excited. This is me at home with the camera in front of me, cooking dinner and just thinking about everything I need to do. So thanks to all of you who had those awesome questions, and thanks to all of you who had awesome questions too that I didn't answer. I'll get back to you guys soon, and yeah, we'll do another one. This is pretty cool. I mean, I love answering these questions as truthful as I can. Yeah, let me know about that meetup too. Anybody in New York or anybody that's close, you want to do a meetup, we'll do something. I'll make it worthwhile. We'll get food, drinks, we'll hang out at the park or something. We'll just kick it, and maybe like in between a session. So I'm gonna get cooking, and I'm gonna finish up these sweet potatoes. So thanks for the question, guys, and I'll see you next time. Later.